Did you know chain smoking isn't always bad for you? Chain smoking is actually one of the best business strategies I've ever used. It's all about helping you work hard once, making things easier, and getting better results for you and for your clients. Today, I'm going to walk you through how this simple system works and share 5 key ways that I've applied it to keep momentum, streamline my business, and stop reinventing the wheel every time I market, promote, or deliver client work. If you're feeling tired of starting over every time you launch or you deliver your services and you're ready for a totally fresh perspective, step on up. It's time to get chain smoking. Welcome to the Establish Yourself podcast, your guide to elevating your brand, offers, and systems as a coach, consultant, or service provider. I'm Annie Franceschi of Greatest Story Creative. I'm a brand strategist, author, former Disney storyteller, and forever Muppet fan. If you're ready for next level success, we'll get clear on your brand, package your process, and streamline your systems so you can land quality clients, boost profit, and make time for big dreams in your business and beyond. If you're ready for less confusion and more magic, it's time to establish yourself. I originally heard about the concept of chain smoking from author Austin Kleon. He wrote a series of books starting with one called Steal Like an Artist. His second book in 2014 was called Show Your Work. And that's where this concept originally appears. It is all about continuing momentum when you're working on an artistic project, finishing one while starting another and not letting that chain break. He cites examples like Ernest Hemingway, who would stop in the middle of a sentence at the end of his day's work so he knew where to start the next morning. Singer-songwriter Joni Mitchell says that whatever she feels is the weak link in her last project gives her inspiration for the next. Austin shares this in the book as a way to keep making art without losing steam. I see it and use it as a simple, smart business strategy. It's what keeps me and my clients moving forward. I want you to be able to leverage this different way of thinking in your business. Here's what I see happening with coaches, consultants, and service providers all the time. You put a ton of time and energy into your marketing. There's so much work with creating content, running launches, hosting events, and you do the thing, you put the thing out there, and then all that work and energy, it just dies. Same thing happens with client work. You deliver amazing results, but then it feels like starting over with the next client. It can feel like you can't seem to harness all the energy that you invest. It's like you're constantly restarting instead of building momentum. Clients finish working with you and disappear into continuing their journey with someone else. That's why I love chain smoking. I have been practicing this in my business for years, and it helps solve these issues because chain smoking is all about looking for natural places where you can keep channeling that energy and effort and your clients' energy and interest so everyone can keep going with momentum. This is how to work smart and not restart constantly. So today, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of 5 ways that I've really applied it so you can feel inspired to chain smoke yourself, to work hard once, get better results, and have more fun in the work you do. All right, strategy number 1, link your marketing efforts to leverage attention when you have it. If you've ever poured a ton of work into a launch or a free event and it felt like a lot of effort, you're going to love this. Many years ago, back in 2017, I was working on my visibility and I started a workshop series called Branding with Annie. I first hosted it in person in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area. And I would bring people into a room and teach them 5 best practices on branding. And that particular month's topic that I started with was business cards. The trick that I used to chain smoke this effort was simple. I did that first ever workshop, and before it was over, I gave everyone in the room the opportunity to sign up for the next month before they left. I made sure to host Branding with Annie always on the same day and time every month. I think it was the second Tuesday at 12 p.m. So people got used to a rhythm. I didn't keep reinventing the wheel every time. I chain smoked. And here's what happened. That first Branding with Annie, that was just the hardest one to market. And it was so easy after that because after people left on that very first day, I had gone from a one-time event to an ongoing community. Branding with Annie ran for more than 4 years. It has hundreds of alumni. People would come up to me at other events and say, "Oh my God, you're Brand Annie. I know you. I know who you are." And all that started and I think continued because I didn't start out doing a workshop as a one time thing. I said, I'm going to do it as a series. I had everyone's attention. People were there, they were having a good time. And by offering that sign up right away, it led right into the next one and the one after that. 4 years later, it was a really successful visibility and marketing effort for me. Strategy two, build your offers like a domino line. So one offer is going to lead naturally right into the next. This is a game changer if you're launching anything, a book, a membership, even one-to-one services. And it ties right into something I teach in episode 14 called the One Client Value Ladder. This is about structuring your business so it's easy and so aligned for people to move up or down from one offer to the next based on changes in their emotional and financial readiness. You want that next step they take to feel natural, so clients aren't overwhelmed with choices and you don't have to keep creating things all the time. Here's how this looked in practice when I went from sunsetting Branding with Annie workshops to launching my book, Establish Yourself, and its connected community, the Establish Yourself Action Club. In February 2022, I hosted my last Branding with Annie as a Zoom call. I offered the attendees live there to sign up for my next event, the launch party for Establish Yourself, which was going to be in March 2022. At that virtual launch party, I chain smoked again. I invited people to join the very first Action Club meeting for free. I said, I'm starting a paid community tied to the book. It's like Branding with Annie, but even better. Do you want to come to our very first meeting of the Establish Yourself Action Club for free? We had more than 60 people take me up on that. And during that first Action Club meeting, I walked them through the promise of that offer and what that was going to be. I provided a bonus if people signed up within the first 30 minutes. And sure enough, we ended up with 38 people who became founding members. Many of those folks are still there today, 3 years later with Action Club. So hopefully you can start to see when you line things up, you lead from one to the next. It doesn't have to just be marketing. It can be your offers. It can be a natural next step. If this is lighting you up, I would encourage you to go listen to episode 14 for a complete walkthrough of the One Client Value Ladder. I'll make sure it is linked in the show notes. Let's talk strategy number 3. Bake it right into your client delivery. If you're doing great work with clients, but you're missing out on repeat or follow-up business, this one is especially helpful to consider. I offer a VIP day I call a Magic Strategy Day. And I was doing one of these with one of my clients, Jill, a leadership coach. She is very successful. She works with a ton of major organizations and specializes in positive intelligence. I worked with her and her assistant to diagram her client processes and look for opportunities to work smarter, not harder, and lead from one thing into the next. I realized with some of these major 5 and 6 figure offers she was doing with these organizations, there was not a natural moment in her process to get back together with the client, take stock of what they've done, and introduce a phase 2 or phase 3 of the work. So I said, hey, you should really consider offering what I call an end of project meeting and building that into your original engagement. Positioning a meeting as a high value add to recap all of the work you've done so far together. So even if you're just doing an initial phase with someone, building in a wrap up meeting. She took one look at the process, saw where I was going to put that meeting, and said, oh my gosh, Annie, this is going to add 25% revenue to every client engagement going forward. Just building in that natural moment to take stock of results and offer the next step where there wouldn't have been that already built in. The simplicity of building in that momentum moment, looking for opportunities to keep someone who's already invested in what you're doing moving forward. I almost always do an end of project meeting or reflection call with my client for the same reason. It's an opportunity to get feedback to make the business better and also to say, hey, how are you feeling about the next steps? Here is something you may want to consider as a next way to work together. Strategy number 4 is using chain smoking to save time with your admin and your scheduling. I know that stuff can be a black hole even if you have a virtual assistant. This is that little stuff that can really save you hours and keep you from chasing down your clients later. One of my favorite ways to chain smoke is to leverage time when I'm live with a client. I will say, hey, let's go ahead and set our next session before we hang up. I'm not going to wait till that person goes to email and then we have to go back and forth. Save a minute at the end or the very beginning of your conversations to go ahead and schedule your next meeting. But this is a small but mighty tip. What are some ways to leverage the attention you already have to save some time in the admin of it all? People don't even realize that it can be so much more effective. I know many people don't like calls, but I know when I work with clients to do their done for you branding, my process is very intentional and not a lot of it is back and forth of submitting materials. It's often kickoff calls, even within the project itself, because I've found 20 minutes together can save 2 hours over email. And to me, that is a notion of chain smoking, leveraging the time you have with someone to be more efficient, to keep them moving forward and keep you moving forward. All right, so far we've talked about 4 ways you can chain smoke. I'm going to bring it home with a fifth example, and that is to extend the life of your promotions. This is how you're going to take something that's worked well for you once or twice and squeeze more results out of it with way less effort. I wrote a book in 2022 called Establish Yourself. It's the book that inspired this podcast. 2 years after that book came out, I had a wild idea to create a summer book club. I created an event called Business Boost Read Along, and I invited people to come and read the book with me in 6 weeks. This is a very affordable program, usually just the cost of the book for 6 weeks with the author to work through it. So, 2 years after the book comes out, I create a summer book club for it. And I'm like, so many people have already read this book. Who's going to come to this? So, I built some chain smoking right into that promotion. I do for Business Boost Read Along an opportunity to bring a friend for free. If you pay to come to Business Boost Read Along this summer and you have already gotten a copy of Establish Yourself and read it at some point, and you want to share your free copy and a ticket to the event with someone else, you can bring a friend for free. That is a way to naturally leverage interest and bring more people into the experience. So that is exactly what we did. I thought I'd be lucky if 30 people signed up. We had over 80 people come and many people bringing their friends. If this interests you, I'm gearing up to do it again. So please come check it out. I'll put a link in the show notes to the wait list for it. I chain smoked that read along experience into launching the next thing, which was my group cohort for Package Your Process Accelerator. That is a 5 week experience to help you get clear on how to brand and sell your offers with ease, confidence, and never sleaze. I was sort of blown away, but that inexpensive book club led to selling out 12 of the 15 spots. Before I'd really gotten into marketing it to the public, I had nearly sold out Package Your Process Accelerator. I even do this with my free tools, thinking about ways to extend the life of something like your free lead magnet, my referral message creator. That is a tool that's going to help you have a 3 sentence paragraph so that when you go networking and someone is so kind to offer a connection, an opportunity, or a referral, you can look like a pro. You can honor that connection with confidence and send them cut and paste copy they can use to make that introduction super easy. So if you want to create that, you can head over to greateststorycreative.com/message. And what's really cool is if you check out the referral message creator and you get the email from me that has that magic message already created for you based on my proven template, I offer you another freebie. You will see that at the bottom of the email, I offer you the gift of a professional bio template if you share the referral message creator with your network on LinkedIn. So I am very intentionally making it really easy to share the work that I'm doing. I have a new lead magnet. So I'm not just sharing that with the person who's doing that referral message creator. I'm offering you a way to share it out to your network, right? And incentivizing that. And by the way, it's all automated. We can get into more of the details on that another day, but I just want to encourage you to be thinking, How can you chain smoke more? How can you make it easier for people to sign up, stay in, or share your thing? Maybe all of the above. This is what I help people do. If you feel like you've been working too hard for not enough payoff, if your systems feel clunky or your offers are unclear, if you would love a fresh perspective and to knock out finding those 25% increase revenue moments, I do a magic strategy day. That's where we're going to look for chain smoking opportunities in your business. Together, we can diagram your processes, simplify your offers, and help you work hard once. You come away with clarity, smoother systems, and a lot more ways to generate revenue without adding more hustle. If you're curious about that, I do offer a free kickoff call. You can learn all about it and set your prioritized agenda at greateststorycreative.com/magic. I'll make sure there's a link in the show notes. So just to recap today, chain smoking is all about using the momentum you already have, whether it's from a workshop, a client session, a freebie, or even just a Zoom call. What's that next step you can make easier for someone, especially if that someone is you? Put a sticky note on your desk right now. Make sure it says chain smoke. It may just change your business. Hey, do you like surprises? Here comes the show's credits, but just like a Marvel movie, stay to the end so you don't miss something fun I put in just for you. Thanks for tuning in to the Establish Yourself podcast. I'm Annie Franceschi, and I want to hear from you. Follow me on LinkedIn. Share your favorite takeaway from today's episode as a comment on my latest post. Mention your favorite Muppet in your message so I know you're a fan of the show. And for expert branding help, a free consultation, and more resources, visit greateststorycreative.com/podcast. Now, here it is, your moment of magic. Austin Kleon is the reason I was able to become an author. His first book, Steal Like an Artist, gave me permission I didn't even know I needed. Reading through that book, I just discovered it in Urban Outfitters. It helped me feel capable of writing my own book someday. And that's exactly what I did. If you're curious to hear the whole story, check it out. It's in the introduction to my first book, Permission to Try, which you can learn more about at permissiontotry.com.